Okay, ladies, welcome to the wind down. You both look a bit nervous.
You never know with Alex.
Okay, so I'm actually going to go for a question that we got off Instagram first. There wasn't even much phrasing around this question, but the question was around, and ask them about dirty talk. And
Mel's the one answering this one.
No, I did. At first, I was like, "What? Where has this?" I'm not sure. And then I was like, "Mel,
It's Mel.
Mel, the honey."
No, I didn't submit that question.
No, but
No
Mel's
one's
like the
coming to
honey
me
part.
for dirty talk advice.
Me
Let's be
neither.
honest. They're
Me
going to say,
neither.
how do I optimize my funnel? They are not coming to me to
Talk
say,
dirty on
How
funnels.
do I optimize my orgasm?
we know who the question's made for.
What's
Yeah.
the question?
There wasn't one. It was
How
like
do they talk dirty?
the question was actually like talk about the village, and it was like and about dirty talk with as chili emoji.
Well, that sounds like someone needing help and not even knowing how to phrase the
Okay,
question.
first of all, are we
Okay.
into dirty talk? I'm going to ask that.
Absolutely.
I'm into it.
course.
I'm here for it.
Of course.
I'm here for
I
it.
actually coincidentally left a voice note to my inner circle, which Natalie's in
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Inner circle is as in Queen of Hearts, which is like all about love and relationships.
Yeah.
And it was specifically about dirty talk.
I haven't
There you go,
listened yet.
Natalie. You've
I
got
haven't
training
listened yet.
ready.
You've got a voice note in your WhatsApp waiting for you.
I did think you were going to say you voice noted Sean when you started
That's
that
what I thought.
sentence.
No, I had a download when I was involved in Dirty Talk with Sean last night, and I was like, must tell the Queen of Hearts ladies about this.
I love this. I love
This
this.
is really good to know. I'm gonna tell them this. They're gonna value this. And you're gonna have to sign up for Queen of Hearts, I'm afraid, if you want to know. I'm just kidding. No, I was thinking. So, like, a lot of the work that I do is around polarity and like masculine and feminine and communication. The way that we communicate with our partners, we can, should we desire to create more polarity in our relationship, communicate from a more feminine place. And when it comes to sex, I believe dirty talk is a really powerful foreplay, especially for women. And when we approach dirty talk from, I feel dirty sounds so American. Dirty talk. I'm
What would
losing
you-
my
what would
British
you call it?
accent. That's what I call it.
Oh,
dirty
it
talk.
just feels like dirty.
Yeah,
I
but
get
I
you.
just skip the I go dirty talk. Dirty talk. When we want to communicate this and create that more polarity, it actually feels way more sexy when we speak into what we want them to do to us rather than what we want to do. Because actually being in the feminine when it comes to being in the bedroom is actually about receiving him in his fullness and allowing him to claim us, ravish us, penetrate us, take us, right? A woman in the bedroom typically wants to be taken and chosen and ravished. She doesn't want to be the one ravishing. And so when we remember this, when we come into our dirty talk, it actually creates way more polarity and way more sexiness when we get to share, I want you to do this to me. I want you to take me like this. I love the way you do this. Instead of, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. It actually is way more sexy.
I'm so glad you
Yeah.
gave me a sentence stem then, because I was going to ask
Yeah.
you for one. I was like, give us a sentence stem.
Yeah.
I want to. So
Yeah.
it's not I want to, it's I want you to.
It's like, I love the way you fuck me like this.
Okay.
I love it when you do this to me. This feels so good.
Okay.
You know, like
So don't give him a checklist.
He's saying, I want to do this. And
Yeah.
you're saying, I want you to do this. I want you to do this. Instead of, and I want to do this back to you.
I love that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And
It's just more sexy. It creates more polarity.
You're so right on that thing as well about women wanting, well, I think you're right on that thing of women wanting that, almost like that domination. Because when I was at this, we were at a sexy weekend, I don't know what to call it. Got flustered. A sacred sexuality weekend. Oh God, I'm cringing myself out now. This is why I can't be a sex coach. My God, like blushing. But all the women, and there were some like really successful women there were like, yeah, I want him to ravish me.
Yes.
They weren't like, I want to ravish my man. They were like,
Right.
no, like you
Yes.
take the lead.
Exactly. And this is why I believe that under every high achieving, independent woman who has lived a lot of life in that masculine energy is a woman who deeply craves and desires to just be taken and be in her feminine and be ravished and chosen and cherished. And dare I say it, penetrated by life.
Love this.
Yeah.
Penetrate me with life.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. So this was a question from these girlies, and I love this. We're going to start light. We'll go deeper. But if you three were the Spice Girls, who would be who?
What do you guys think?
Oh, good call.
You're giving Ginger Spice.
Thank you,
I could
because
see
she
that.
was
Jerry was
my
a vibe.
icon.
I can see that.
I
You're
would have,
right.
I would have
Nailed
said
it.
that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that someone
Nailed
said it.
it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I love this.
I'm gonna say baby.
Really?
I could see
baby.
baby for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I was used to be posh when I was young because I had brown hair, but I wasn't very posh. You can't be posh Spice when you're from Stockport, I'm just saying.
No, Newcastle.
I mean, I would say posh for you. Yeah.
Yeah,
take it.
I would say
Yeah.
more posh.
I'll
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah. Also because posh is a bit of a powerhouse.
Yeah.
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 Take it.
Yeah.
Sexy, classy, understated, but like always on brand.
Yeah.
Thanks, you
I
guys.
love this. I love this.
I'll take it.
Okay, that was a great question.
Really good question.
Yeah.
You submitted that one.
Yeah, that was a great one.
Jay! Oh my God. Who would have known? The husband in the room asked the best question.
I want to just say a little bit more about you as baby, because I just want to say like unapologetically like girly and just like a sweetheart, and just the whole aesthetic of this is giving Baby Spice vibes.
Thank
Yeah.
And
you.
so fun.
So fun.
So fun.
Yeah, I want to have fun. That's
Yeah.
my word. Right, there was a couple of questions that were quite similar. So I'm going to focus on one of them. And this is through the lens of someone who isn't yet a mum, okay? So if you didn't have an established group of friends to create your village yet, what would you do to attract them? And we basically had like 3 kind of versions of this. So I feel like this is hot in your ladies' mind. So let's go deep on this. If you're not a mum, you're wanting to attract the village, you're wanting to attract aligned friendships, how do you go about it?
I mean, if you are in the early stages of motherhood, go to the classes and the things actually happening in your community, because that is the best place to meet people like that. But if you're not in that place yet, join online communities literally built for that, because there are so many amazing online communities with these subgroups of other women asking for and looking for the exact same thing. And you'd be surprised how much overlap in location there is, or how much you might connect with. So, like, I literally know people in our community who connected, became business partners, moved like across the world to like run the business together. And it's amazing what can happen when you find your people. So there's so many amazing communities online. Lean in.
I can actually speak to that. Like, I actually think, I feel like we might have given the impression it's almost easier to do this when you're a mum. And actually, it's probably easier when you're not a mum in many ways, which isn't to say you can't do it as a mum, because clearly you can. But I completely forgot about this. I went in the society when I first started one of my businesses, and I didn't have any friends who were entrepreneurs. So I joined this membership. First of all, I randomly went to a Boss Babe event, didn't know who any of you were.
one?
It was the one in London with Nick.
Yeah.
And it was off a Facebook ad, and it popped up. And it was like a £99 ticket or something. And that to me at the time was a hell of a lot of money. And I was like, it's £99, I don't know. Like, okay, I'm going to go. And I went, and I had a product-based business at the time. But I remember listening and being like, wow, this is an amazing online world that these women are creating. And I went because I didn't have any friends who were entrepreneurs or who were doing anything. But I joined the society off the back of it. And I went in the group and I said, hey, I'm in London. I don't know anyone else who's running a business. Who wants to meet up in real life? I'm shit at responding to WhatsApp messages. I didn't need more digital friends. I was like, who wants to meet up in real life? And I remember we booked a breakfast table at the Riding House Cafe. And I thought like 2 or 3 people would come. We had like 25 women come. And all these women, and we all connected. And obviously you're going to vibe with some more than others. But like, I think that's such a testament to like, just go on Eventbrite, find events, like go to events, like go to the places online if it's not available to you physically. But yeah, what would your advice be on this?
I just wanted to say, I think I was at that event too.
No.
But
Were
before we
you?
knew each other?
No.
I think so.
No, I will
Rings
die.
a bell.
Oh my
It
God.
rings a bell.
Nick was
years
there.
ago. I think I might have come like with Nick or something.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my God.
Anyway, this is years back.
That makes me
I
happy.
can't believe
It'd be
it.
so crazy.
This is wild. I'm sorry
Boss
we didn't
Babes
meet
just bringing
then.
us all together.
I know.
Wow. I always think it's so weird to even like think that we were in the same space and we didn't even know each other. I think that with
Yeah.
everyone that I meet. It's crazy.
I had that with Nick as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's 1,000 stories on this. I want to hear advice.
I would say, like, honestly, like the online world has never made it more easy for us to find community literally based around what we want and what we want to grow in and the areas that we care about. You know, there are so many different communities that you can join now, whether it's a membership, a program, a course, where you can literally find people in there that want the exact same thing as you and they're on the same journey as you. And so I'd say, don't sign up to things and be a lurker. Like, sign up and get involved and like lean into that community and those connections and ask questions and get the most out of it. And lean into the community aspect. I really believe like community is so healing for women. So many of us have sister wounds that originated in community when we were little. So the way that we heal them is to get back into community as grown women to heal together. And I would say with regards to the village piece, I actually have in another inner circle that I run called Queen of Diamonds, I have a group of women in there who are literally creating their village together at the moment. And they're like, they've never met in person before, but they're like, where are we moving together? Let's like scope out locations.
Oh my God,
They're not mums yet, but they want to be. They're all running businesses. And they're literally like, we all want the same thing. Let's do this together. And it's just like giving me so much life. They're like researching different places that they want to move to. Like, it's so cool. And it's like, yeah, like we get to do this. We've never had as much freedom and opportunity to do that as we do now, especially if we have online businesses where we don't have to be tied to one place.
100%. I will shamelessly plug you both because I think you're both fucking epic and I've been in both your communities. Both Natalie and Mel have memberships as well. Like, got the Goddess Collective, we've got the Society. Like, you can find friends in there. And moving away from the digital aspect for a second, also check out your neighbours maybe. Like, I'm friends with my neighbours now on both sides and they're a fucking vibe.
I met this mom the other day at the swings. She has 4 kids and she homeschools all of them. I'm like, teach me your ways. Like, I want to learn from you. And she's like, oh, I run this like Friday moms group around my house. I'm like, I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
Not tomorrow, but I'm gonna be there next week. Just realized we have a house thing tomorrow. I'll be there next Friday though.
Yeah, no big
But,
deal.
like,
You're just buying a
literally
house.
Just met her like swinging our babies on swings, you know, get chatting to people. Don't be just like in your own little world.
I
You
love
can
that.
see who the extroverts of the group are because I've never met anyone in the neighborhood. This is why I enrolled everyone I already knew to move to.
I would like to clarify, it was Jake who was inviting the neighbours round. And I
That
was
makes
like,
sense. It's always the
really?
husband.
And then they came around, I was like, I love them. They're fantastic. They're great.
If, like the same as what we were talking about earlier though, like we are also kind of in an echo chamber of like just the online industry and the space and the coaching world. And it's like, there are people that have completely different lives that live next door to us. And like getting to know them is like a whole different universe opens up for me because I realize, oh my God, all my friends are in the same industry and all my friends are entrepreneurs and work online and create courses and programs and memberships and run retreats. And then I meet someone who's like, yep, I homeschool all my babies. No, I don't go to work and my husband provides. And I'm like, I want to get to know your way of living. Like, this is cool. Like, teach me, how do you homeschool 4 kids at once? Like, I want to learn about that. Like, that's cool.
I can so see this vision for you.
Oh my God, that's so happening.
Yeah, I can see it happening. I love this. Okay, so I'm going to carry on because I feel like I want to get through as many
Yeah,
of
that
these
dirty
as
talk question
possible.
opened up a whole different world of
I'm glad we started there. I got some advice, so that was great. Okay. Okay, I love this one. So, what advice do you have for someone who has been recently impacted by a corporate layoff and is interested in starting their own business, but not sure what may resonate to drive revenue?
So when you're in that kind of space where you are interested in doing something, but maybe you do need the income right now, you don't maybe have 6 months to a year to figure it out, and you're not entirely sure what the thing is for you, I always say put one foot in front of the other every single day, and I promise you opportunity will show up, things you're interested in will show up, but it's when you're taking action that'll actually happen. And so if I was in that situation, what I would do is I'd think about what are the things that I'm really good at, and what are the values that and skills that I could add to someone's business or, you know, people that I know, and I would pitch them on services. And for one person in one business, it might be totally different to the other person, but getting that experience, firstly, you're getting that cash flow in, which is really important if you're in that in-between phase. But secondly, getting that experience doing different things, you'll often realize, oh, I actually love that. I want to do more of that. Didn't like that one so much. Here's what I learned about it. And I feel like that's been my entire career, is just kind of saying yes to things, feeling into it. Okay, I love that part. I'm going to take that with me, but I'm going to leave that. And then, you know, if you have to do some of the things in the meantime for cash flow, not feeling bad about that. Not every business takes off overnight. And when you're able to sustain yourself and figure out what it looks like to sell, to get someone to say yes and pay an invoice, those are really big milestones when you're venturing into your own business. So anything that you can kind of flex your muscles with in that arena, I think is such a good idea.
I love that advice. I think that's really strong. And I feel like when we recorded the Boss Babe podcast, we spoke about this a lot, about like other businesses not necessarily being your end business, but like some businesses aren't the end thing. They're like your bridge. They become your bridge, and then you work out what the next thing is.
Yeah, some people I think will sit doing nothing because I don't know my purpose. I don't know my passion. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And I think you can continue sitting there and wondering, or you can get out there, try things on and find your purpose. It's something that happens when you take action, not something that happens when you sit there and will it to come to you.
Yeah. Hey man, please do not fucking meditate on this like endlessly. Like a little bit of meditation, good. Like no, get off. Go somewhere, try something, do something, you're gonna work it out. Yeah.
I'll just add to that on the other side of things, because I heard someone say recently, you don't really know who you are until you're out of scarcity. And so what I took from that as, you know, if you're doing things because you're in scarcity and you just need money, you're never going to get to really know who you are, because you're doing things literally, you'll do anything to just survive, you know, you're doing work that you might not necessarily want to do. So I would say if this was someone that was coming to me that had just got laid off, I would probably lean into like getting some type of part-time work, so you're not putting all this pressure on your new business to succeed straight away when like out of alignment. Because I think if you're receiving money for stuff that's like really not in alignment, then you start to feel like, what's wrong with me? You know, like nothing's working, and it's just because you've not found your groove yet. And so I think I'm really grateful for all the different part-time jobs that I had going on as I was growing my business, because it allowed me to really figure out what my message was and what I was doing without I need money now. Like, what can I sell that's just going to make money? You know, I didn't have that. I like really found like, oh no, this is what I'm really fired up about. And I had the paychecks coming in from my part-time gigs on the side. So I would add that.
Such wise advice that isn't spoken about enough. I think we're taught the message to like go all in your business, and sometimes actually going all in is exactly what you said, like having some money coming in. But I now need to know, what was the weirdest or most wonderful side hustle you had when setting up your business?
Oh, I would have to say painting my yoga teacher's house and tiling his roof.
I didn't expect that.
I love you. I would trust you with my life. I would trust you with my child. I would not trust you to tile my roof.
Thanks.
What?
Yeah, I was living in America, and I was really into yoga at the time, and I asked my yoga teacher, can I just do like any odd jobs for you? Basically, I'll work on your reception, I'll babysit your kids, I'll walk your dogs. And he was like, do you want to help with tiling the roof? And I was like, I'm totally down to tile the roof.
I love this.
And I was actually studying to be a coach at the time. So I was at IIN, and I had like the headphones in my ears listening to the seminars as I was tiling the roof. And I was so happy. I had not a penny to my name, but I was the happiest person ever.
I love this.
Yeah.
You're giving me Kylie, I don't know how you say her second name, Kite? You know, like the amazing woman on Instagram who like does all the DIY jobs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh no, that's definitely not me. No. I was there to get paid. Yeah, for sure.
I was like, maybe you've got some tiling skill going.
No,
but, okay.
no skill.
I
think you probably had to get it redone after I did it, to be honest. But
it looked nice. I bet it looked nice anyway.
Yeah, but you do what you've got to do, and like it allowed me to dream about my business in a way that wasn't putting all this pressure on it. And then I was like, oh, maybe I'm ready to get clients. And it wasn't like, I need this client or I can't pay my rent, you know? And I waitressing, like 3 different restaurants, worked in a juice bar, like yoga teaching, like it was all because I had this, this vision for my business. And I didn't want to rush it or put too much pressure on it too fast. But I did set a goal, and that was as soon as I did a lot of modeling work as well and promotional work and things like that. And I said, as soon as my business makes in a month what I make from all this other stuff, I'll quit. I didn't say I'm going to have 3 months in the bank, 6 months in the bank, 12 months of reserves. Yeah. I wasn't thinking like that. I was like, as soon as I do it in 1 month, I'm out of here. And I did. So the first month I hit, it was like, I remember exactly what it was. It was £1,500. Yeah. As soon as I made that from my business, I emailed all of my people and I was like, bye, I'm a business owner now. I'm going all in. And that was all I need. And then I was like, I'm all in. I'm committed because I've proven to myself, I found the alignment and now I'm going.
I love this. I love this.
Yeah.
Natalie, what was your...
Oh, nothing that interesting. I do people's social media. I've always been good at it.
I love this. So who, can you name and drop any
Nick.
people's?
I did Nick's.
So cool.
She taught me about this whole world. I didn't know I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I didn't know anything about the online space or anything. And even back then I was just very good at social media. And she was like, can you be my social media manager? I was like, sure. I've got nothing else going on. Don't know what else I want to do with my life. Sure. And I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And I did that. I mean, my business had fully taken off as well. And I was like, I don't want to let you down. So I just kept doing it. Loved it.
Amazing.
Yeah. But nothing as interesting as tiling a roof.
Guys, I ghost wrote cat blogs.
You did wait, what?
I ghost wrote cat blogs.
Cat blogs?
Cat blogs.
Babe, this deserves a whole episode.
Oh, I've got a whole laundry list
What
of
do you
weird jobs I
mean?
did. Right, so you know how you can have a ghostwriter when you're writing a novel? Well, guess what? Cat blogs have ghostwriters too. I was a ghostwriter for a cat. I don't
a blog on behalf of a cat?
About cats.
No, okay, no, sorry.
For cat lovers.
It was for cat lovers. So it was like, what's the latest cool cat contraption that they can, I don't even know what cats do. What do they do? Scratch, stand? I don't know. I don't have a cat. I've never had a cat. But I could write a cat blog. And yeah, I'd have to write about the latest cat beds and like...
See, there's so much you can do to earn money.
Oh my God, so much shit. And then I used to proofread people's essays for uni.
Could see that.
I ghostwrote a cake blog, which I did really enjoy.
Yeah,
I like
see
baking.
that.
So that was fun.
That all makes sense.
Yeah,
Cat
that one
one.
makes sense. The cat, yeah. No, I flyered. I have so many things. I was once actually in a dressing gown promoting tiles at some kind of building convention.
This is when you were trying to get your business off the ground?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I hustled. I hustled hard.
Oh my
And
God.
I was a yes to many a job. Probably should have been a no on reflection. But
This is hilarious.
yeah, anyway, I'm going to move on now from my slightly weird job pass.
I love this.
Amazing.
Okay, so I'm going to do one final one and then we'll wrap this up. And again, I feel like these two are pretty, there's a similarity through them, so I'm gonna weave them together. So if you're letting go of the past in a new life stage, what a piece of advice do you have for fully embracing your new life chapter when you're grieving aspects of the past? And the other question was pretty similar. It was talking about the act of surrender, like going through the process of surrender.
I mean, grief is part of it. Grief is part of it. And I think don't resist the grief. Let it take you, like surrender to the tidal waves of grief. It's going to come and go. And something so beautiful is on the other side. And trust the unknown, you know? So many of us like try and grip to control because we're afraid of what's on the other side of something crumbling. And every time and time again, we see this pattern in life, which is the crumble, the rebirth, the death, the rising, like the phoenix from the flames. And it's like trust in like life's patterns are also happening and present in your life, whether it's in your love life, whether it's in your business, like it's happening. It might not be happening on your timeline, but it's happening. So trust the grief, let yourself grieve, like let yourself feel it all. Like, oh my God, this is what it feels like to like have my heart broken open into a million pieces. Like, let me be with it. Let me feel it. Because the sooner that we feel it instead of resist it, we get to move through it. We get to dance with it. We get to come out the other side into this beautiful new expression of ourselves, whatever that might be.
I love that. I feel like it's reminding me of your phoenix tattoo.
Yeah. This is because of a rebirth. Big one.
I remember that one. That was you wrote the book of how to do that.
Thank you.
It was epic.
Last year, I feel like I went through some really intense grief. And one thing that I really had to make sure that I did was not rush into the next to kind of pretend it wasn't there. Like I definitely noticed myself falling back into that pattern of like doing so I don't have to feel. And just allowing myself to slow down, to take a pause, even though I didn't know what was on the other side of it for me. I really just allowed myself to slow down and be in all of those feelings. And that's also quite challenging too when you run a business and a lot of people want answers from you because that's important to them. That was really challenging to go through that level of grief and change in my life while also trying to take care of other people. And I really had to just let go of what other people needed from me and just do me. And that was really challenging at the time, but I kept bringing myself back to that. I reached out for a lot of support. Like I brought in an amazing therapist, a really good coach. I was really honest and open with my friends about how I felt. I took breaks from some friends. Like I just did the things that I needed to do for me. I went to Europe for 3 months. Like I just did the things that felt good without needing to know what the answers were on the other side of it. And I think that's the power. It's like what you're saying, Serena. We can almost want to jump to the next chapter to know that we're going to be okay. Whereas when you have that trust in yourself that it's going to be okay anyway, then you can slow down and really allow yourself to feel all of that. And I do feel like feeling it all allowed me to properly close the chapter and move on in a higher energy and move on in a way that felt complete and felt good.
And I think both of you spoke about this kind of the grieving process, and when you hear it from this side, when you're on the other side of it, it sounds quite beautiful. And I just want to speak to you, like, when you're in it, it's messy as fuck. Like, grieving can look like, for me, it's always like sitting on my hallway floor and I'm like, oh, like having a full blown, I need to be on the floor for some reason, maybe it's grounding, I don't know, but like sat on the floor crying, and it's ugly as fuck and it's painful as hell. But I really notice in those moments is there, like, even if it is like 0.001% of me, is there that small part of me that can see actually something better might be coming? And it might be tiny, it might be like the tiniest wisp in that moment, in that really messy, ugly moment. But that's the bit that you get to grasp onto, and that's the bit that you get to realize, like, oh no, I'm going through the messiness right now. I'm having this death, but like there's going to be something great on the other side.
And in that too, you know, I think it's important to name when you're going through something like that, when you're going through a big life change or grief in that setting, you can often think, did I make the wrong decision? Oh, maybe I regret what I did now. You know, it would have been easier if I stayed in that situation, or I shouldn't have. It can be very easy to let all of that come up, and that's just the fear, and not allowing yourself to buy into that and go backwards is really important.
Yeah.
Because that just prolongs this journey. There were so many moments I caught myself in that. Wouldn't it be easier if, I should have, and I just had to catch myself in it. No. Yeah, I'm actually, the shortcut is going through it directly, not allowing myself to keep going back.
Yeah, I remember you saying this to me as well. Like, again, good friend giving amazing advice, and me just being like, yes, this feels great, and not quite following it. But I remember you saying, like, you need to pull the arrow back right now. Like, it's easier to be doing and doing and doing and going and going and going, but you need to pull the arrow back. And I was like, I know I need to do that, but putting that into practice was it was so alien. It was so difficult. I think we're often in that pattern of, like, as you said, just like moving forward and doing, rather than taking that moment to just like be in a winter, be in a stillness.
Yeah, and I also just want to speak to, like, when we're in that death period, when we're in that winter, it's actually such a rich time for introspection and intuition. And if we're trying to rush forward into the next phase, we're thinking, oh, all the goodness is when I get out of the death season. And actually, like, a lot of the goodness is in the death. And, like, if we can really recognize, oh my God, I'm in a death portal right now. Like, instead of like, I want to get out of here, like, oh wow, like, this is what it feels like. What's here for me? Because my soul wants to learn something in this death portal. So let me make sure that I you know, I always think of like swimming underwater and like you're in this like murky bottom of the ocean, but there's like crystals on the bottom of the ocean that you need to like pick up and get and like take into your like life journey. So it's like, what are the lessons that my soul came here to learn in this specific death portal, right? So not like I should have done this differently, but like, what am I meant to learn from this experience? What actually is something for me to take responsibility, for me to either clean up or learn from for next time, so this doesn't become a repeating pattern. Something that I'm learning in my leadership, something that I'm learning about relationships, something that I'm learning about friendships, something that I'm learning about myself, something that I'm learning about boundaries. And like that richness of guidance is only available in the death portal, you know? So like be there and stay there and be with yourself long enough to really allow these lessons and this wisdom to be revealed to you.
Oh, the way you described that when you were like picking the crystals in the murky water, I was like, such a beautiful image, but it's so true. Like getting those bits of wisdom and taking them with you. I'm going to wrap this up because I feel like I will literally talk to you both for hours and hours and hours and hours. I love and adore you both so much. There are literally no words, and I'm so grateful to get this time with you both. Thank you for being not only on the upgrade, but the wind down as well.
And please go leave a review for Alex's podcast.
Yes.
Because it really,
Leave a
really
review.
helps. Yeah.